Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis, from the words of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Adverse Forces, Part 2. From the Mother. Each time that we have made a decisive step in our spiritual progress, the invisible enemies of the divine always try to take their revenge. And when they cannot injure the soul, they strike the body. But all their efforts are in vain and will finally be defeated, for the divine grace is with us. We must never give a chance to the adverse forces to do their mischief. They take advantage of the slightest unconsciousness. It is jealousy, selfish dissatisfaction, and hurt vanity that open the doors of the consciousness to the hostile attacks by pulling one out of the divine's protection. It is only by refusing to allow these wrong movements to take place in oneself that one can hope to get rid of the adverse influence and its disastrous effects. It is a great ignorance that makes a being answer to the suggestions of the forces of darkness and destruction. With a true sense of gratitude for the divine's infinite mercy, one would be saved from such dangers. Disciple. Tonight again, there is a severe attack of the hostile forces. My sleep has completely vanished. I pray to you with utmost sincerity to liberate me from the clutches of these furies. They attack my abdomen, thighs, and knees. Pray to give me the promised advice so that I may be able to get rid of them completely forever. Mother, these adverse forces are connected with sexual desire. They live on the energy wasted when the act takes place. And even a thought, a mental or vital desire, is sufficient to let them come in and settle in the atmosphere. Thus, it is in the mind itself that the purification must take place. My blessings. 12 September 1950. When the adverse forces are dealt with in the right way, all that is ugly and false disappears, to leave place only for what is true and beautiful. In order to make myself more clear, I repeat what I wanted to say. In a year like this one, when the adverse forces have decided to attack at the utmost of their capacity, it is required from all those who have decided to fight for the divine realization to avoid carefully all fear. Do not grieve. Always the same battle must be won several times, especially when it is waged against the hostile forces. That is why one must be armed with patience and keep faith in the final victory. Question. My beloved Mother, can the adverse forces act effectively against the terrestrial evolution without using a human being as an intermediary? Mother. It is not impossible, but it is easier for them to find a human instrument. It is good to be confident and to have a living and steady faith. But in the matter of the adverse forces, it is good to be always vigilant and sincere. One must never be afraid. And if the adverse forces try to lodge themselves in your lower nature, you have only to dislodge them, calling me to your help. It is precisely this state of perfect harmony, beyond all attacks, that will become possible with the supramental realization. It is that which will be realized for all who are destined for the supramental realization. The adverse forces know it very well that in the supramental world they will automatically disappear. Being no more useful, they will be dissolved without the need of anything being done for that, simply through the presence of the supramental force. That is why they rush in a rage, negating everything, everything. That's it. It is essentially the conflict of the adverse forces, the anti-divine forces, which are trying to push back the divine realization as much as they can. They hope for thousands of years, you see. And it is this conflict which has come to its crisis. It is their last chance. And as those who are behind their external action are altogether conscious beings, they know very well that it is their last chance, and they will put all they can into it. And what they can is much. These are not ordinary little human consciousnesses. They are not human consciousnesses at all. They are consciousnesses which, compared with human possibilities, seem to be divine in their power, their strength, even their knowledge. Therefore, it is a terrific conflict, and one wholly concentrated on the earth, because they know that it is upon earth that the first victory has to be won, the decisive victory, a victory which will determine the course of the earth's future. Those who are noble-hearted and hold up their heads when things become dangerous can be happy. It is an opportunity to rise above oneself. There we are.